wait for at least just one person to get on. Okay. So it's important to follow your heart and let my mistake be your lesson. Let my mistake be your lesson. If you feel guided towards me and you feel like this is something you need to hear, I advise that you just listen and hear it. So, I had to make a tough decision between somebody that I had a really big crush on for years and a best friend that I had for we were best friends for 3 years. And I didn't follow my heart, and I ended up choosing, to be with my best friend just because I'm a Scorpio and I'm really big on loyalty. And so I was going with my mind. I was going with what logically to me, what makes sense, what would be the right thing to do, as if, as for who to go for. Should I go with my best friend for 3 years? Should I date my best friend of 3 years? Or should I date this guy that I had a crush on for years and is now showing interest in me? And had I followed my heart, I would have went with my crush. But because I listened to my mind and I listened to my morals and my belief system, I'm a Scorpio, I'm very big on loyalty. I was like, no, I've been best friends with my best friend for, 3 years, big on loyalty, I'm gonna stick by that, period. Even though I didn't really have romantic feelings for him, it was more just so a comfort zone for me. But I did have all the feelings for the crush. But because I didn't follow my fucking heart, I ruined that shit, bro. And this is not just no regular crush. This was a dude I never saw I was I'm not even gonna try to get with him because I don't even have a chance. I don't even have a fucking chance. And he showed interest in me, and I was like, yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right. I was living a dream. It was a fairy tale. A part of me feels like the reason why I chose my best friend over him was because I felt like it was too good to be true. So it was a little self-sabotage in that, if I'm being honest. But maybe we need to go into that. Maybe that's why a lot of us don't follow our hearts and just listen to our heads. I mean, if you're in your head, you're in fear, period. If you're in your head, you're vibrating from a place of fear. See, I didn't want to make the wrong decision. I didn't want to end up choosing a guy, and then it ends up not working out and I'm regretful. And that's exactly what ended up happening because I was so in my head and I just dropped down to my heart. See, fear will have you in your head. Fear will have you in your head. But when it comes to, especially when you're making an important decision that is going to drastically affect and change the course and direction of your life, like your spouse, your partner, who you're going to be with, drop down in your fucking heart center. And fear of making the wrong choice is going to make you go up here. But being up there is what's going to cause that to become a reality. It's what's going to cause you to make the wrong choice. So you just have to let go of that fear and drop that in your heart. And you just have to you know what I'm saying? Because the other thing with following your fucking heart, had I followed my heart, okay, let's say that I followed my heart and I went with my best friend, right? And that's where my heart was, right? And my best friend, we're not best friends anymore because he ended up doing me dirty. So I'm just like, damn, and I really literally chose you over my fucking crush. Had I followed my heart, though. But anyways, let's say that I did follow my heart. Let's say I actually did follow my heart and then he still ended up doing me dirty. I wouldn't have as much regret because it was I loved him. I was following my heart. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, versus since I followed my mind and it was I didn't really have feelings for him. It was just a comfort zone. And it was a little self-sabotage in there because I felt like it was too good to be true that this man that I really wanted also wanted me. So because fear and self-sabotage and doubt and all this shit kept me in my head, now I'm regretful. But if I followed my heart, when you follow your heart, you're never going to regret following your heart. You're never going to regret that. You know why? Because you know that you were staying true to yourself. Period. No matter what the outcome. No matter what the outcome, whatever outcome happens, you just chop it up to, okay, it wasn't meant to be, or you know what I mean. Like there was nothing I could have done to make the situation go in my favor. But because I listened to my head and it didn't go in my favor, I have regret, because it's like it could have went in my favor had I just followed my fucking heart. You get what I'm saying? So when you follow your heart, you save yourself from regret, for one, and you get what you actually want too, as well, because you're following your heart, and that's where your desires are. That's where your wants are. It's in your heart. So you end up getting what you want, what you actually want, instead of what you feel like is morally right to have, or is just, or what you feel like makes sense. Fuck all that. It's something that you actually, and it doesn't have to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying with the mind and the heart. Sometimes what we want doesn't make fucking sense. It doesn't make fucking sense. But follow your goddamn heart. Because when you follow your heart, you'll end up with what you want. Like, you end up winning. Period. And it doesn't have to make sense to anybody, especially yourself, because it's not going to make sense to yourself. But that's why it's kind of scary, because it's like, fear in the first place is why you're in your head in the first place. Fear always brings you to your head. So I mean, like, I want to take this, I don't know about you, but I want to take this seriously. I want to live from my fucking heart, because I learned my lesson. I could have been with that dude right now. I could have been with my crush for years. We could have been together. But I didn't follow my heart, so now I learned my lesson. Let my mistake be your lesson, so that something similar doesn't happen to you. And, bitch, live from the heart space. I don't know about y'all, but I want to take this seriously. I want to live from my heart. I want to start making this. I'm going to start small. I'm just going to start making decisions from my heart. I'm just going to start making decisions from my heart. I do music, so I'm probably going to like start focusing more on my heart center when I sing. But I'm going to really start like living from my heart, because that I learned my lesson, bitch. So thank you so much. You're pretty too. Can you say hi? Hey Daisy, hi, how are you? Can you shout out my friend? His birthday is Dixon. Shout out Dixon, I guess. But yeah, check out my series if you like these sort of topics, and yeah, check me out. But follow your heart, for goodness sake. Like, don't make the same mistake I made, and then you end up regretful with some shit that you didn't even want. You just felt like it was the right thing to do, or some fucking shit. Like, no, fuck all that shit. Like, when it comes to matters of the heart, morals fall to the side, belief systems fall to the side, logic especially is the first thing to go when you follow your heart. So just, those are some things to expect when you start doing that shit. But the end result is that you end up with what you want. So yeah, I'm out. Bye. Bye. Bitch, end.